Hey guys, Blackjack here. Today I'm going to go over some thoughts and some of the stuff I do back office. Now, most people think that they need to get Microsoft Office for basic stuff, and you don't. People don't know you don't. You don't need to spend hundreds of pounds on an office suite. I mean, there's some perfectly good free office suites available. Now, I'm going to show you two they can download onto your PC and two which are cloud-based. They're all free. Well, three of them are free. One of them you do need to get something inside your office, but it can do more than just office stuff. I'm talking about a Synology. You need to get Synology network attached storage. As the name implies, the network attached storage, it can do more than just office stuff. I shall go through that later in the video of what other stuff it can do, but I only use it mainly for one thing only, and it's not the office actually, because I use the other bit, the other online one. So without further ado, let's get into the two versions which you can download onto your PC. So the first one is going to be Libre Office, obviously. Libre Office is based on a open source, which means it's free. You can download the source code and edit it, but most people are not into that. They just want it free. It's based on Open Office. And since I think version 4, the Open Office split off from, well, Libre Office split off from Open Office because Sun acquired Open Office. People don't like Sun. Then Oracle, no, it's when Oracle bought Sun out, and people don't like Oracle. Open Office was invented by Sun. They ran it as an Open Office suite, but then Oracle bought out Sun, and people didn't like Oracle because they're a massive data center type thing which they usually charge things for. So they forked off, which you can do in open source. You can fork it off, and they've done that, and now you can get Open Office. Now Open Office comes with quite a few things. It comes with a writer, it comes with spreadsheets, it comes with a database, it comes with simple drawing packages, and it also comes with presentations. It is a fully functional, good competitor to Microsoft Office. A lot of people use this instead of Microsoft Office now, but I think it's a bit of an overkill for the average home user. The average home user doesn't need this power. So bear that in mind. So what we're going to do is look at the next one. WP Office 2016. Now with this you get a Word competitor, PowerPoint competitor, and spreadsheet competitor. There is a paid version of this as well though. Now, the interface on this looks more like the latest versions of Microsoft Office than LibreOffice does. LibreOffice looks like the old version of Microsoft Office before the ribbon came out, the ribbon interface at the top, this bit here. But this has got the ribbon. Also, with this, you've got to download, well, you've got to use the cloud part of it. And that's a bit I do not like about WPS Office. But there is mobile versions of this, which link into that cloud as well. So if you do want a Office suite on your PC, that's not in the cloud, but you also want to use like a tablet or a phone to edit your documents as well, then this could be for you. Now there's two cloud solutions I am going to say now. One of them is the big daddy, is Google Drive. Google Drive is free. This is a spreadsheet in Google Drive which I do use, and this is a script for one of my, it's an old version of Starter Online News. As you can see, it's fairly responsive. You can do all this stuff. A lot of businesses use this. This is part of the so-called G Suite for the businesses. It's good for free, but there's one disadvantage of this over the other Office suites, apart from over the offline Office suites like Libre Office or the next Office suite I'm going to provide. Is that it's not stored on your local hard drive or something you control. It is controlled by Google. So that can be a bit of a problem for people. The advantages also of this is they've got very, very good mobile applications. They've got the docs, they've got the sheets, and they've got the presentations for your mobile applications. And they work seamlessly with Google Drive. For free, you do get 15 gigabytes. You can upgrade your storage. Here's the prices here. So like for 100 gigabytes a year, it's £16 a year. And for 200 gigabytes, it is £25 a year. Now this storage as well is shared by Google Photos if you're not using the free tier of Google Photos. It is not shared by Google Music, because I use both. You can download an app which syncs all your data to your PC, including your photos. That's how I sync everything to my server. So when I take a photo with my phone, it goes onto the Google Photos, and then I use the Google Drive app to sync it to my PC. It's always nice to have that. So then you got an offline backup as well, which you control. So if Google decides to scrap Google Photos, which I very rarely doubt it because they've got contractual things with pixel owners and stuff like that. But if they do, then you still got all your photos locally. So that's basically Google G Suite. Let's call it Google Docs, Google Drive, stuff like that. Now the other one you can get is something called Synology Drive, the Synology Office. Now this comes with the Synology network attached storage. The one I'm using here is a DS115J. It is right at the bottom of the line. It's only got one hard drive bay, which has got 1 terabyte hard drive in it. And let's just go to Synology's website actually. Here we go. So you can get different types of NASes, stuff like that. So we go to products and we go to personal home use, I suppose. These are the new versions here. I've got the old version of this one. I've got the 115J, not the 119J. But any of these can run Synology Office. But some of these can also, they have dual drive bays like this one. So then the data is moved between the two drives inside there. And they can also do things like a Google Photos replacement, which I don't use. It's called Synology Moments. They also do a Google Music replacement called Audio Station. That I do use as a backup to Google Music, just in case Google decides to scrap Google Music. I can just download the DS Audio app on my mobiles, and it takes over seamlessly. The Moments has got a mobile app, so for your photos you can upload directly to your phones, directly onto this NAS server which you control. There's also a notes taking app called DS Notes, which I use all the time. It's my note taking app of preference because I want to control who sees my notes. I'm not bothered about my office stuff, but my notes, I keep personal stuff in it. That's why I'm not showing it. But there's also a mobile app out for that. And then there's Synology Office, which is part of this, Synology Drive - Synology Office. Now the downside with Synology Office, even though there is a Google Drive app and you can view your documents on your phone or on your tablet, you cannot edit them. So for me, this is useless because most of the stuff, when I do write a script, I do most of my videos just off the cuff because that's how I prefer to do my videos. But for like Star Trek Online news and stuff like that, I prefer to have a script for that. And I write my scripts when I'm not here. I go to a coffee shop and write them because I find that a bit more relaxing. And it helps my PTSD to get out of the house. So that's what I do. But you cannot edit Synology Office documents unless you've got a web browser. So you can't do it offline like you can with Giggle Office. You can't do it offline like you can with WPS Office or Libre Office. You've got to have an active internet connection to do it, which is a bummer because this is a good alternative to G Suite if you don't need the offline access. So the other things you can do with this as well, which I do like, is, for instance, I back up all my past videos onto the Office here. Here's a no video. All these are videos. Now if I double click one of these, it could take its time because I'm on the lowest of the low Synology box, but eventually it will pop up the Office now. Obviously, if you've got a higher tier Synology box, which costs more money, then you will be able to view the video a lot quicker, obviously. But because this is the lowest of the low, it does take its time, and I'm not going to wait for it to do it. But you can play videos. You can play music straight from here as well. I have got some music somewhere which I'm not going to play. But you get my drift. You can do absolutely everything on it. You can store anything you want. The big advantage of this over Google Office, if you're only using it inside your home, or you can use it outside your home if you VPN straight into it, or you can access this from anywhere through just a web browser. Synology do provide a dynamic DNS service as well, so you don't need to remember your IP address, or if you're on a public IP address, it doesn't matter, because if you set that up in your settings, you can just tap in and say, right, for me it's something like blackjack.synology.me or something like that. I'm not going to give you my IP address obviously or whatever, but if you do, for instance, you can type in a web browser blackjack.synology.me/office. No matter where I'm in the world, I can then get into there, log in with my credentials. I'd strongly advise you to set up two-factor authentication if you do that as well, which I have got set up on here. So then you need your phone with you for Google Authenticator or something like that. And it's a lot harder for people to hack into your Synology that way. Another thing about Synology's, and the reason why they're slightly more expensive compared to what the hardware you get, is Synology really like to keep their software up to date. Even though this was made in 2015, the box itself, I've had it for a few years now, it is still getting regular updates. It's on the latest version of the DSM, which is Disk Station Manager, which is Synology's operating system. It's on the latest version of that and it still gets regular updates, even though this is the bottom of the line one. But the biggest advantage of this over Google Drive, so I've got 1 terabyte of hard drive space on this. So I've got 1 terabyte cloud. Now, if I had a bigger, more bays in my Synology, you could put, there's Synologies where you can put up to 192 terabytes worth of hard drive space on there. So you get a 190, well, it won't be 192 because you'll have some redundancy in that, but say you cut that in half, so call it about 100 terabytes of your own personal space, where you can access from anywhere. Now, as for the Office, this is an old document of mine, and I used to do blogs about books. But as you can see, it does absolutely everything you need for Office, for your basic Office, just like Google Docs does. And this is the same spreadsheet as the Google Drive one. I actually exported this to XPS. You can download them. So I can download it as a Microsoft Excel or PDF. You can print them straight for me as well. It's not a problem. They just print to your default printer. But if you want to download, you can download it as an XLS. X, as this is. So it's the Microsoft Excel format. And I just import it into Google Sheets. And this is the thing. So there's an Office, well, there's a word processor, there's an Excel, and then there's also a PowerPoint competitor as well, which I'd never used, so I don't know how good that is, to be honest. But for basic Office needs, these are good enough. So these are if you are bothered about privacy, and you don't need the mobile apps part of it, but you can still access your files. You can still view your files offline. I mean, yeah, you can still view your files on mobile or on a tablet. You're just gonna edit them. Or if you want to edit them on a mobile or on a tablet, then you can either use WPS or you can use Google G Suite. Now, personally, I use Google G Suite because I've got a Pixel, I've got a Chromebook. So, yeah, that's why I use Google's Office Docs, because it works with everything. It's ubiquitous. And if Google wants to spy on my stuff, I'm not bothered. Because all my stuff which I don't want Google to spy on, I use DS Notes, which is on my Synology. And Google can't access that. So all my private stuff is on DS Notes, which is a bit like Google Keep. And I don't use Google Keep at all because of that. So I hope this helps. This is Blackjack, signing off.